Some things just don't make any sense. Most people like to believe that everything can be figured out or solved given time, but that's not always the case. Take these 5 mysteries that remain unsolved to this day and continue to baffle experts. Number 5. The Pollock Twins. In 1957, 2 sisters, Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock, aged 11 and 6 respectively, were tragically killed in a car accident as they walked to their local church in Northumberland, England. Their parents were filled with grief. John, their father, spent much of the time after the accident praying his daughters would come back, and it seems his prayers were answered. Just 1 year later, twin girls Jennifer and Gillian were born. The Pollocks were surprised to find that Jennifer, the younger twin, had birthmarks on her body and face in the exact same place as Jacqueline had. With that started a series of incredible similarities between the twins and their deceased sisters. At the age of 2, the twins started to ask for toys which had been owned by Jacqueline and Joanna. The girls had never seen or heard about the toys before. At 4, the girls began to identify places they had never been or seen. One time they pointed to a school they claimed to be their school, and that they had played in the playground behind it. Their school was the one Jacqueline and Joanna had attended. When the girls were 5 years old, their memories suddenly vanished, and they went on to live normal, happy lives. Number 4. Who put Bella in the wych elm? On April the 18th, 1943, 4 boys went poaching in Hagley Wood, England. There, they found a wych elm tree, which they thought would serve as a good place to hunt for bird nests. One of the boys climbed up to check it out. That's when he found a hollow opening in the tree's trunk, and discovered wedged tightly inside was a woman's skeleton, entirely complete except for one missing hand. Terrified, they swore a pact of silence and fled immediately, but the youngest of the boys was so traumatised that he told his father. The police were dispatched to investigate, and the body was found exactly as it had been described. The woman's severed hand and items of clothing were found later, buried near the tree, which gave rise to speculations that she had suffered a black magic execution, and that witches, covens and Satanists were operating in the local area. After police analysis, the bones were determined to belong to a woman aged between 35 and 40, who had been placed, while still warm, into the tree, where she had remained hidden for at least 18 months. Adding to the already baffling mystery, locals named the unidentified woman Bella, after the appearance of graffiti across the region, asking who put Bella down the wych elm, suggesting that someone knew more than they were letting on. However, no one came forward with information. Whatever the truth, Bella's identity and murder remain unsolved. Number 3. Dutch SS Arang Medan. According to widely circulated reports, in June of 1947, multiple ships sailing the trade routes of the Straits of Malacca, which is located between Sumatra and Malaysia, claimed to have picked up a series of SOS distress signals. The unidentified ship's message was as simple as it was terrifying. All officers, including captain, are dead, lying in the chart room and bridge, possibly whole crew dead. This communication was followed by a burst of indecipherable Morse code, then a final message, I die. This cryptic proclamation was followed by an eerie silence. The distress call was picked up by 2 American ships, as well as a British and Dutch listening post. The men manning these posts managed to triangulate the source of these broadcasts and deduced that they were likely emanating from a Dutch freighter known as the SS Arang Medan. The American merchant ship Silver Star was first on scene, quickly boarding the now drifting Arang Medan. The decks of the vessel were littered with the corpses of the Dutch crew, eyes wide open with terrified expressions on their faces and arms stretching out in front of them, as if to shield themselves from something monstrous. As the Silver Star tried to tow the ghost ship back to the port, the crew noticed ominous billows of smoke pouring out of the lower decks. The boarding party scarcely had a chance to cut the tow line and make it back to the Silver Star before the Arang Medan exploded. The doomed ship slowly sank beneath the ocean waves, leaving in its wake the most chilling of maritime mysteries. Number 2. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. On January 25th, 1959, 9 Russian students embarked on a journey across the Otorten mountain range which is nestled in the northern Ural, for a strenuous cross-country skiing trip. They were never seen alive again. It was 8 days after they were due to arrive at their end destination that a search party was set out to find the missing mountaineers. On February 26th, the search party came upon the flapping remains of a tent pitched on ski poles on an uppermost slope of CO.AG, Mountain of the Dead, in the native language of the northern Siberia. The tent had been ripped apart, torn to shreds from the inside, suggesting those inside had fled in panic. The footprints around the tent indicated that those who fled into sub-zero temperatures did so in just their socks or barefoot, and in one case just a shoe. 2 sets of prints led down a slope towards a densely forested area, which would lead searchers to find the first bodies. Beside the remains of a long burnt out fire, beneath a looming ancient pine tree, were the frozen bodies of 2 hikers. The searchers noted with bewilderment that both men were naked and shoeless, except for their underwear. They also noted that the branches of the old pine tree had been snapped off to the height of almost 15 feet, indicating that the pair had frantically attempted to climb the tree for safety. Around 350 yards away lay the body of Igor Dyatlov, the 23-year-old engineering student who had put the expedition together. His name would later be given to the area where the tragedy took place. Nearby, the remains of 3 more bodies were discovered under 4 inches of snow. The bodies were in a line 200 yards apart, as if they were trying to crawl behind each other, back up to the shelter of their tent, but never made it. 2 months after the initial search, the rest of the group were found, under 15 feet of snow, in a den they had desperately hollowed out for themselves before succumbing to the cold. Some of this group had broken bones and terrible internal injuries, but strangely, no external wounds, not even a scratch could be found upon their skin. Stranger still, odd bits of their clothing contained higher than normal levels of radiation. The post-mortem examinations of the bodies threw up a string of bewildering anomalies. What could cause 9 experienced mountaineers to flee in terror into sub-zero temperatures? Why were some fully clothed, but others nearly naked? Most disconcerting of all was the body of one hiker named Ludmilla, which was missing her tongue and eyes. There are various theories concerning what happened in those dark and dreadful hours on the Mountain of the Dead. Possible explanations such as an avalanche or the Russian military and secret experimental weapons testing have been blamed, even Yetis and alien abduction, the latter being the belief of the Soviet investigators at the time, are also popular theories. However, the simple fact is, no theories hold up to scrutiny, and so endures the legend of the Dyatlov Pass, one of the greatest unexplained mysteries of our time. Famously tried to imagine how an intelligent alien civilization might try to signal Earth. We should look, they said, for a radio transmission. 18 years later, that prediction came true. In August 1977, Jerry Ehrman, a volunteer researcher for Ohio State University's now defunct Big Ear Radio Observatory for SETI, was scanning radio waves from deep space, hoping to come across a signal that bore the hallmarks of one that might be sent by intelligent aliens. When he saw this measurement spike, the signal lasted for 72 seconds, the longest period of time it could possibly be measured by the array that Ehrman was using. It was loud and appeared to have been transmitted from a place no human had gone before, in the constellation Sagittarius II Sagittarii, near a star called Tau Sagittarii, 120 light-years away. Ehrman wrote the words "Wow" on the original printout of the signal, thus its title as the Wahl Signal. All attempts to locate the signal again have failed, leading to much speculation and mystery about its origins. So what does this mysterious, extraterrestrial signal mean? Was Ehrman the first man to ever receive an intelligent message from an alien race? Opinions are honestly split, but perhaps we'll find the answer sooner than we think. Thanks for watching this video, guys. This has been Top 5 Lists. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like. Of course, subscribe, and if you want to keep up to date with all the latest videos, then turn on that notification button, and you'll get all of our latest uploads straight to your notifications. So yeah, thanks for watching.